All right, let's go ahead and try that now. Let's go ahead and refresh everything, guys, and see if this is working. Bear with me, fellas. I'm going to get this figured out. There we go.
Yes.
All right, that's better. I had to do some weird shenanigans with OBS. This is the a new 11.5 update, and it was having some errors. I can't backtrack now, so we just got to push ahead here. So sorry about that. We're rocking and rolling.
That's good. Glad. Yeah, so I like that center screen there, so you can see the texting quite nicely.
Oh, isn't it pretty? 90 minutes of time, hopefully less wasted than I thought.
Yeah, and I like that circuit background you got going there.
Thanks, man.
Nice, nice.
It's fancy.
All right, so we've got 12 people in now, I see. Oh, 13, it's climbing. That's great. So, hi, everybody.
What's going on, folks? Can you hear Steven and I okay?
Let me just... Yeah.
Hello from Reno, Nevada. I used to live there. Very nice. Well, I lived in Silver City and Virginia City, but nice.
That's nice. Nice. So you wanted to start off with, our laptops, RTX laptops worth waiting for, Bob, eh?
Yeah, absolutely. So this is something that I've been talking about with just a few people, and somebody had linked me a video of somebody stating why they should wait. And so I watched the video, and nothing against this individual. I'm not going to name drop. I like his content. It's all fine, but there really wasn't anything legitimate there that would back up that claim. You see, if you're going to wait for an RTX laptop, if you don't know, ray tracing sucks. I mean, it's a sweet piece of technology, but 99 out of 100 people are just going to leave that off most of the time, and half of you are going to check it out to make sure what it's all about, but the performance hits terrible. So you got to factor in what kind of GPUs now can we get with 2000 series in these new laptops? And you have to respect the TDP and the Max-Q and everything else. And what we have right here, I'm going to show you. Let's go ahead and convert this to a live screen real quick. And if you go, here we go. This is a 2070, right, with a TDP of 175 watts. Now you can Max-Q that, sure, no problem. And a 1080, which we do have in laptops, which you can Max-Q this well, is 180 watts. This is pretty much the best scenario that you're going to get inside of a laptop just based on TDP alone, give or take with some Max-Q shenanigans, right? Well, guess what? We already have a 1080, and a 2070's performance and a 1080's performance are really close to one another. So why? Why upgrade into the 2000 series? There's a few reasons why, but they're very niche. And most people that are gaming, I would have a hard time stating, yeah, go ahead and wait. And before we go into all the TDPs of all these cards, we can do this all day long. I want to share with you guys some information. So I belong to Notebook Review Forum, and somebody had sent me a private message, and this is very important. Now, rather showing you that private message and revealing who this individual is, that's not fair to him or his father. And it states here, my dad's a lead data analyst for Cerner. He says, if you're planning any computer purchases, do it sooner rather than later. We're accelerating a $4.4 million IT purchase due to tariffs taking effect January 1. And went on to say it'll hit hard on the laptops and desktop components. Now, do we know if this is going to happen? Probably, we probably don't, but this is some pretty good information. I trust this source. I take it with a grain of salt, that's fine. But if you're looking to buy now, I don't see RTX being a big performance thumbs up. I don't see us getting anything greater out of these things. And with the potential price increase, I'm not saying it's going to happen. I got some people that are cool enough to send me some information, and this is just one piece, okay?
Well, I've got a question for you, Bob, then.
Sure.
I mean, I sell metal, right? And a lot of the metal I buy from overseas is hit by tariffs. But we sell to the replacement cost. And I'm sure the same will happen with laptops. So even though you have laptops on the floor or, in warehouses here, I'm sure the replacement cost is going to go up. Therefore, existing costs will go up.
Right.
That's what I would do. I mean, you'd sell to replacement cost. Do you think that would happen then?
I don't know.
I mean, that's scary, isn't it? I mean, what we're talking, 25% from China? Is that what the tariff is? Or is it still going to be like 10?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't have the hard numbers here, but did we lose people in the stream here? Let's go ahead and refresh this real quick.
Yeah, I'll refresh my screen. I don't see any text.
Yeah, I don't either. Say something here, fellas. This is a work in progress, but yeah, for some reason everything seems to have disappeared.
Perhaps it just takes the chat out. Perhaps everyone can still hear us. No, right. So yeah, Sean says the text is coming up. Look, Sean says that the stocking everything up in the warehouses. But I still think, I mean, it makes sensible business sense to increase prices now because that's what's going to happen.
Right. I mean, it could. And so, ultimately, waiting for 2000 series, set aside the potential price hikes. Let's say that's not going to happen. I just don't see the value in doing that right now. So,
yeah. You mentioned there's a few niche advantages, and
yeah, I think in particular, 2000 series laptops are awesome at doing recording stuff. They have a really neat thing in there, hardware wise. It would help people like me, but that's 1 in 1,000, right? What about you, Stephen?
Well, actually, I've read a review about perhaps saying for streaming, there's a 2000 series help for that, and it didn't. There was no benefit over like a 1080 Ti or 1080. There was no difference. The only other benefit would be the deep learning super sampling, which was still yet to see any benefit of that. And the only other benefit is extremely niche, and that's to connecting to high resolution VR headsets, like 8K headsets. So and that's very niche. So I know I get asked the question, should I buy now or whatever? But I think, buy now while the prices are still fairly reasonable.
Absolutely. Sure.
That's common sense. Yeah. If you see a good laptop for a good price, snap it up now,
Laptops are interesting in that you should really be into 1080p with a screen size of 17 inches or smaller. Your pixel density is far greater than a 55-inch 4K panel anyway. So it's going to look good. And a lot of these really high-end GPUs stretch their legs in higher resolutions. When it comes to laptops, that's just not something we need to familiarize ourselves with because Full HD is the ideal resolution for gaming laptops. That's not even debatable.
Yeah, for sure. Now, if people are asking about the M15, FedEx coming to my house sometime today, so I got one ear open there for them knocking at the door because you got to sign for this thing, and that's the one from HID Evolution. It's liquid pasted, but I also have one on with Dell. Now the buggers cancelled it, and Bob, you've read lots of forums, and they're cancelling lots of people's orders, aren't they?
Yes, they are. There's a lot of little issues with that laptop right now. So between parts availability and just it's really buggy. The fan software on it isn't working, so I can't wait to get my hands on it so I can see if I can work with some of this stuff. But Dell is canceling orders left and right, so I've been checking mine twice a day, and it's still in confirmed mode. I purchased one to review. So
one of a sneaky thing with Dell I don't like, when I put my first one in there, it says free backpack, right? An Alienware backpack. I got it. They charged me $85 for that. So I'm going to send that back, bastards. I don't want another backpack, unless it's free. So Real Property says, is 4K a benefit for normal productivity work?
With a big screen, where you can have with 4 1080p screens on like a 40-inch panel, sure.
Yeah, that's what I did on my BenQ 4K monitor review. I had 4 panels up there.
That's a beautiful thing. But on a laptop, I mean, you're going to have 4 1080p displays the size of your hand. That sucks.
Yeah, that's terrible, isn't it? I tell you what, I like those ultra-wide displays. I've got one from my work, and I've got that in like 3 or 4 different screens. It's particularly LG. LG's got some good split-screen software, so I use that for that. Let's have a look.
You've heard there's some thermal issues? Yeah, absolutely. Almost everyone I know on the forums hits 100 degrees Celsius with their M15 like a boss, no problem. This one dude was... he said he hit 94 degrees playing Rocket League. And a lot of that has to do with the fan software not really working all that well right now. but it's an 8750H, and Dell is not magical. Okay, these are going to run hot, so we'll fix it, right? We'll do the best we can, and we'll go from there. There's hope. I got faith.
It's a shame, isn't it?
There's hope.
So Johnny says the Alienware Command Center is still a mess. So that's the that's the refreshed Command Center, isn't it? I mean, it used to be pretty poor at the best of times, but now it's supposed to be better, isn't it? But very buggy.
CalMix, yeah, that's great. It's a nice laptop. Very nice.
Yeah, so CalMix, you bought the Omen 15, nice price at $1,300. I do advise undervolted.
Yeah, it's free.
I mean, it's free. Yeah, can't do any harm.
You can set it up with throttle stop to fire and forget. It'll stay minimized, and it's a no-brainer. Yeah, everyone should undervolt. Even if I was 20 degrees Celsius from ever reaching max temperature, I would still undervolt anyway. Well, why not? It's not like it's getting in your way. It's easy.
It's the holy grail, isn't it?
Yeah,
I agree. So we had one other topic. It was about Intel's new GPU.
Yeah, absolutely. God, that's an interesting topic here. I don't even need to pull up any of the stuff for this.
Yeah, what's they call it? Arctic Sound. Where did they come up with these names?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I could bag on these guys all day for that, but I think it would be neat, to have an all Intel build, and then maybe AMD can start making some stuff, and we can have some heads-on things. That would be fun for me as a content creator, Steven. I'm sure you probably feel the same. But
yes, yeah, definitely, yeah. No, I think it'd be pretty good. So I wonder if then they'll do mobile ones though. I mean, if this takes off, they might do.
Yeah, I just worry about is their driver team up to it, right? I mean, NVIDIA has to have thousands of people. I mean, they have drivers for the beta of games. I mean, you cannot deny their driver team is on top of it. Whether it's working to your advantage or not, who knows? But they pump a lot of money into that. And is Intel going to commit on that level? If not, I mean, they got to come out the gate swinging.
Yeah, hopefully they will do. I mean, I'd like to see... I know Optimus has its benefits, but I'd like them to be able to do something similar, but make it less buggy in a way if they can. That'd be nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Sean,
I mean, I just want to give NVIDIA some serious competition. Absolutely, for sure.
I don't need it. Yeah, for sure.
It's supposed to have FreeSync. I don't see why not. I mean, it's no pun intended here, but it is free. I mean, you could probably get. I think people have got GeForce graphics cards to work with FreeSync, so. FreeSync tech is awesome.
That would be great, definitely, and have that in, have that in your laptops would be fantastic, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, well, I'll definitely force NVIDIA to lower their prices to something more reasonable. That'll be good. I also heard that Intel is releasing another 14 nanometer chip called Comet Lake. It's a 10 core CPU. What do you think of that, Bob?
It's definitely not for these little machines, that's for sure.
10 cores.
No, I want 4 or 6 cores that run fast because we're 1080p. We're getting into the high refresh rate stuff, and for most people, you're going to want strong instructions per clock. That IPC, 4-core 8-thread or 6-core straight up is great, and make it 4.5 gigahertz. Allow us to have XMP profiles in the BIOS so we can drop some 3200 megahertz RAM, and these things will be hauling butt then. Then you can saturate that GPU. I mean, all those cores are great for content creators, but I mean, I make videos just fine with 8 threads. I just don't see the need for it in a laptop. I like where they're going. It just doesn't suit me, that's all.
Well, they will be getting rid of hyper-threading, won't they?
I wouldn't mind seeing that. That'd be okay. Yeah.
Yeah, so 10 cores, no hyper-threading. I wonder how much power it'll use, though. Yeah, so it's probably try and squeeze that into a 45 watt. It's gonna be hard, isn't it?
I've shown the 8750H to pull 79 watts just on a live stream alone. I got another guy that said he's seen it hit 90. So, man, I mean, that's going to be tough.
It's going to be tough. Yeah, you're going to have something like my Clevo, which has pulled 133 watts with my CPU.
That thing's a beast.
That's crazy. So let's have a look here. People, it's a trap. Any laptop supporting higher speed RAM right now? I haven't seen anything higher than 2,666. Have you, Bob?
I have, yeah, but good luck getting them. So there's a few out there that'll do 3200, and then if you get something with a Prima BIOS or you got a guy that can hook you up, yeah, they can support faster. But it's one in a million, and it's not something I really should even talk about because people are going to want to get their hands on this, and there's just really nothing I can do. So I would like to see that, though. There's really no reason for it to not happen, and I think it's just a matter of time, honestly. I mean, Gigabyte didn't even know that dual channel would have. I mean, you know what I'm saying, Steven? Aren't they going to make another SKU because of that? It's like they don't know, you know?
Yeah, no, exactly. I'll have to test that, and if we've got faster RAM, put it in my Clevo, then see what difference it makes. I know in the AMD laptops, with the Ryzen laptops, the faster RAM's supposed to help, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that Affinity Fabric, whatever the heck, it scales very well to faster RAM. But so does Intel. Before I had a YouTube channel, man, I did all that stuff on overclock.net and showed people DDR3 2400 megahertz was amazing at minimum frame rate bump versus the 1600 stuff, the desktop based, right? All Haswell CPU stuff for the most part, and it's huge. So we're going to need it at 1080p, and you're going to need it with that high refresh rate stuff.
Yeah. Hinidi just asks about the RTX worth waiting for. No, we don't think it's worth waiting for. Bob mentioned that tariffs are likely to kick in January the 1st, so increasing component costs. So I would buy if you can.
And from a performance standpoint, no, because you're limited TDP-wise what you can put under the hood of these laptops. And the fastest GPU we can get right now is a 1080 that has 180 watt TDP. Is that you, Steven?
Yeah, my phone. I'll just see if it's FedEx.
Yeah, go for it, man. So anyway,
hello.
We're limited TDP-wise. A 1080 is about all we can get, even a Max Q1 and a 2070, which is very comparable performance-wise to a 1080, has 175 watts. So even after you Max Q these and make all the adjustments, you're still, I don't think they're going to be able to put much more than a 2070 in these laptops, because the 2080 is like 215 watts here. Hold on.
It is.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. So it's 215 watts, and once you max Q that, it's, what good is it? Now it's like an overclock 2070. So I'm just not seeing the need for it. And none of you are going to use RTX. The performance hit's atrocious. I mean, we're all going to try it, but most of you are going to shut it off.
Oh, yeah, it's a nightmare. You're going to turn it off. You want high frame rates.
Yeah, it takes a 2080 Ti to get like 60 FPS at 1080p in some of these games.
Yeah, I mean, and in a fast-paced game, how many people just stand there looking at their reflection in a pool of water? Right. Not going to happen.
I mean, the technology had to come out eventually, and good. I commend them for doing that. But when it comes to laptops, and they are thermally limited, I don't see the 20 series cards being something that would justify your weight. And that's just kind of where I sit on it. So, I don't know. That's just me.
Yeah. So, Bob, you've got an exciting laptop coming in. Was it the GL704?
GL704. Super excited for the 17-inch panel, but now in a slender-ish form factor. It's going to be about the size of your traditional 15.6-inch gaming notebook. And the reason why I like 17-inch panels, but I haven't really featured many on the channels, just because they're behemoths, right? And I think a laptop should be slimmer, and I think the 15.6-inch chassis is perfect. And of course, the thin bezel ones, those are great too. Those are actually 14-inch chassis. So a 17-inch panel, generally speaking, is a better panel anyway, dating back for many years. But let's just set that aside. Your font, you will use 100% scaling now in Windows. You can use 100% scaling now in Windows with a 15.6-inch panel, but everything's really tiny and you're going to be squinting, and it kind of sucks. And I've got great vision, so it's a quality of life thing to see your font and your apps and everything just super crisp. You got to see it to believe it. It's really nice.
And I like gaming on just a bigger panel. It's easier to see. I think as I get older, my eyesight's getting worse.
Yeah, 17-inch is perfect for 1080p, but now we can get it nice and slender. So excited to get my hands on that. It hasn't shipped yet.
I was playing on my Alienware 13 before the other day, and I could hardly see anybody. I was having to get so close to the screen. Let's have a look.
Yeah, AMD on laptops, bring it on. Long overdue.
So the GS65 and the P65, I think they're basically the same machines, aren't they? Just one's painted white.
Yeah.
And it's a paint, isn't it? Dave 2D said it was a paint because they can't anodize white.
If you scratch that, you're gonna have a stroke. I would be so freaked out, man. It looks cool. Just don't touch it.
It looks cool. Well, you know, also that the Razer 15, that their new Mercury White edition, and whatnot. I was wondering whether the secondary keys on there light up because I feel as if I've been stiffed on mine.
Okay.
I mean that white is in. That's right. Yeah. Also the P65. Yeah, it comes with. Does it come with Magic's editing software, which is what I use for my videos, by the way. Dead easy to use. I think it comes with that.
Nice.
Yes, I should use those magnifier lenses on my screen. Actually, one thing I'd like to mention, talk about, Bob, that, you know, with us both trying to record on Twitch or even on YouTube, you know, the performance metrics of our laptop, so the frames per second, the clock speed, everything, to make it accurate and show it. But with Optimus laptops, that's not possible.
Right. Yeah, I figured that one out quick.
Yeah, we've tried all kinds of things. So, of course, the way I was going to do it was just hook up a camera and have the camera recording my laptop screen. Is that something that would put people off? It might not look as good, but it's either that or produce false readings.
I think I'm just going to continue to stream the laptops the way they are, and when and just put somewhere and communicate with people like, look, this is not reflecting the true performance of this machine. It's just kind of explain it. I'll teach people, man. Let them know what's going on. So
it's a tough one.
It is, because you're going to get people joining the stream, and 10 minutes later, then you got to repeat yourself. So I don't know. I'll just kind of wing it as it comes along. But I like your idea. It just could get weird.
Yeah, it'd look a bit weird, but it's depends what people are after.
Is the Aorus X7 discontinued? Yeah, I'm pretty sure Gigabyte's discontinued almost everything, even.
Yeah, the X5 is discontinued, I think.
Yeah.
I think they must be just waiting for their refresh, will they launch that at CES?
I'm going to say by April we'll have a good idea what people are going to be, manufacturers refresh-wise. Yeah,
I think PAX is probably where they're going to do it. That's when they release these the current ones, so, that's March, April time. But it still leaves a good 3 or 4 months without any viable models to sell apart from the 15X and 15W.
Wait, back it up here. I got an XPS 15, the 9570, and the Aero 15X. Which one to keep? I mean, man, these are two different laptops. One's a jack of all trades, and the XPS is not that guy. It's a great laptop, but it's, content creation type laptop. Hopefully you got the 4K one. If you got the 1080 one, then definitely go with the Aero. But you just got to know what are you doing with this. If you're gaming, go with the Aero. The Aero can just do so much more. But if you're content creation and that's got the UHD panel on the XPS, go for that. If you're gaming, stay away. That XPS will thermal throttle the GPU, and it's not going to be fun.
Yeah, I just wanted to, my Dell XPS 15 2-in-1 here, that fell on the ground.
No, plug your ears, people. This is terrible.
I smashed up the corner, so it's not as solid as you might think.
Scar 2 or Zephyrus M? Somebody else asked me that, and I helped them choose the Scar 2, but not because I just, stated a couple little differences in facts between the two. That's all. I like the LAN port on the Scar 2. The Zephyrus M doesn't have that, and I like to game and stream, so.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. Does the Scar 2 have G-Sync? Does it?
No, it doesn't. I don't even. Depending on, maybe the 1071 is directly connected. Don't quote me on that, guys. And the 1061 has Optimus, so you can at least use fast sync. So for me as a keeper, I would probably, being Bob, right, and wanting to game a lot, I'd have to go with the Scar. I want that LAN port.
Yeah, because you've tried the M, didn't you? You reviewed that as well. Yeah.
Great laptop. I mean, I still recommend it. I still get comments on it daily. It's a great machine. Nice.
Now, Lenovo 720S GTX 1050. Now, you You reviewed that one, didn't
The
you?
1050 Ti Max Q. Yeah, and that was the 720S IKB, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, yeah.
That was using a 90-watt brick, and I don't know if we're talking about the same laptop here, but you will get power throttling on that CPU, and there's nothing you can do about it. Even if Lenovo flashed a BIOS to remove this, you're still power limited just by their power supply, which I did a lot of testing. I plugged a bigger power supply into it, and nothing. I wasn't expecting it to work, but I had to do it, so.
Yeah. So someone's looking to format the laptop and put a fresh install of Windows in.
Mm-hmm.
You do that a lot. I mean,
Yeah, just follow my bloatware tutorial to a T.
Yeah.
You'll be fine. I just did the Mech 15 last week. I do it all the time, man. I have very fast internet here. I'm not trying to brag, so it's easy for me to download like 100 gig, within a couple of hours. But I do fresh installs all the time.
yeah. And actually, one thing I'm thinking of doing, I mentioned this to Bob before. I mean, my internet's a bit faster now, but I always install the games onto each laptop. And I've actually just purchased a USB-C external SSD card thing to load Windows on there and all the games, and just plug it into each laptop I use, and it'll should use all that in theory, shouldn't it? So
I like that. That would save time.
yeah, that's gonna be an interesting test. And I see that Panasonic have announced a Thunderbolt 3 external SSD, so that might be that's actually got speeds of like 1500 megabytes per second, so that'd be interesting to test that.
Lyle with the RTX cards, man. Yeah, I'm sure a lot of people are having problems with those. Luckily, you've got a Micro Center nearby.
Wow, I've been lucky with my 2080.
That's the Founders Edition, right?
Yeah, it's been fine. I've been using it in the amp,
Mm-hmm.
and I tried to cram it into my eGPU from Aorus, but of course it was too long for that. So I've actually bought another external solution to put the card in, and I'll demonstrate it. But so far, the 2080 is exactly the same as a 1080 Ti, even in an amp, which we expected, of course. But still, it works quite well, but I can't see any benefit over the 1080 Ti. Now, overpowered laptops by Walmart. Exact same one as your electronics you reviewed, eh?
Yeah,
Bob?
it's Tongfang stuff. God, I got into this on God, who posted about that? Review Tech USA. He was talking about that. A lot of people have been talking about it, and the desktops are just built by whomever. The notebooks are Tongfang chassis. I've considered buying one just to see, because right now they're not really being painted in the right picture. We're basing that laptop off of everybody's desktop experience, and these two should not be related. Unfortunately, they have the same name. Now, they could be a piece of crap, but it is Tongfang's laptop, and Walmart's selling them. So we don't really know how bad or good they are. But from what I've tested with the Mech G2, what Dave 2D has tested with the Mech G2, there's no reason to think that laptop would be bad. But there is an argument to be made on what about the customer service? I mean, what happens if something goes wrong?
But to be fair, Walmart, I mean, they've got a good return policy,
They do.
haven't they? I mean, I've returned things there before, and there's no questions asked.
Sure. Usually not usually, 100% of the time when I get hardware, I beat the crap out of it. I mean, I don't run Prime 95, don't be a fool here, but I don't, oh, well, I'll overclock the display later. No. I'm doing everything I can while I have a good return window, right? I'm going to try to break this thing.
Yeah.
So
I don't think that's important. I think everybody should test their laptop within that first 15 days or whatever
I'll
it is.
do it after warranty. Like, no. Do it now. Do it now. Right now.
No. You've got to.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the only way. Yeah, the Aero trackpad has been buggy. No gestures working.
Yeah,
it
works.
is. It's a piece of crap, really.
You got to get the right drivers for it. I had, oh my God, the first 4 or 5 days, it was crazy, but I fixed it. It was great. I'm serious. Once I got the drivers installed on there, the scrolling was right. I was able to reverse it. It was good. I just had to get the right driver. I wish I had the laptop.
Yeah, and of course going to the ELAN settings to switch that scrolling, which is reversed, and it's still not as good as Windows Precision.
Oh no, but it was very usable once I got it tweaked. So, but again, the first 4 days was a nightmare. So,
and I tell you one thing. I met with Gigabyte just before PAX in this year, and they told me their next refresh will have Windows Precision drivers natively, and that's personally one reason why I haven't bought one of their laptops, because I've got the X3 and the trackpad on that sucks, and so I would wait for that refresh.
We used to be able to install Windows Precision drivers on Elon and Synaptics trackpads, but one of the bigger Windows updates a few months ago, maybe late summer, just axed that, so you can't do it anymore.
You can't do it anymore? No. Well, I did that on my X3 and it still sucked, but so, you know, I think that once they do it natively, that's what you want.
That's it. They got to do that for sure. No excuse, really. It's something we should not have to even consider in our purchase. They should just all be Windows Precision.
So someone's mentioned we did a live chat with Jared, and we did, and we do plan to do more. We just want to get ironed out, you know, the streaming aspect, particularly with 3 people. Now we're using Google Hangouts here compared to Skype, and I think it's a lot smoother, less overhead. Beforehand, Bob was getting cut off with Skype, and Jared was, you know, there's bandwidth delays and things. So, but we'll do more, and he's keen for doing that.
Yeah. I've been really focused on in my spare time, which isn't a great deal, but I don't have anything to cover, so working with Streamlabs OBS and getting all that stuff to work. And jokes aside, yes, I know we had a hiccup in the beginning, but this new update's been wonky.
Yeah, no. And, you know, we hope to have other guests. I mean, we've talked about this. I would like to try and get Prima. I haven't reached out to him yet, get him on board.
Yep.
He might be interested. I'd like to get HID Evolution on board as well, perhaps talk about their systems and the advantages they bring, and the issues they have as being a vendor. You know, perhaps, you know, have some special guests on there. I've been in touch with Mobile Tech Review. She's keen to do a joint video, so perhaps we can get her on stream as well.
She's so sweet. I like her. Lisa's nice.
Oh, she's great. You know, she was actually, she was my first ever subscribed to that channel. I didn't subscribe to anybody else. All I did was watch her channel, and she actually, you know, got me going with my channel, really gave me the confidence to go ahead and do it. So she's great. And you know what? She's underrated. I mean, she only gets, 200, 300 subscribers a day, which sounds a lot, but people like Dave 2D, who does a good channel, he gets 5,000 a day.
Yeah, 3 to 5K a day, I think.
You know, it's, I don't know. I like Lisa's channel better, and it goes more in depth. And so hopefully we'll have her as a guest. But yeah, we'll have a few more people. Now, is the Alienware 13R3 still worth it? You know, I love mine. I've got it here.
Yes. That is, I think, the best Alienware laptop that Dell has produced.
Oh, it's great.
Okay.
The colors on it are great. That OLED panel.
Mm-hmm.
It's a touchscreen.
Yeah.
Colors.
It's a 2K also, right? 1440p.
Yeah, yep. It is indeed, yeah. I mean, I had it next to my HP Pavilion before. And, you know, the new Windows desktop, it's got those umbrellas. I mean, the colors were totally different. It was like night and day. I mean, it's a great laptop, but it's a small screen, of course, isn't it? You know, and as I said, I was playing on it, and I couldn't shoot anybody, you know, too small.
Right.
But it's a good laptop.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah.
Doesn't run too hot either. You can address it pretty easily.
Yeah, and you've got that, you know, the Alienware port, which I've been doing all my tests on, and it's been working flawlessly. So if you can get a good deal on that, I think you can pick it up for around about $1,200-1,300 now with a 1060 in, can't you? So that's not bad.
It's not bad at all.
Yeah. And the speakers on it are good. It's got good stereo separation. You know, for a small chassis, it's probably one of the better for stereo separation, I find.
If it was relevant to review, I would get one. But it's kind of old in the laptop world, right, with 7th gen, but I think it's awesome.
I'm still going to review it. I mean, I bought it to review, and I haven't reviewed it yet. And I've had it,
I'll look forward to that, definitely.
6 or 7 months.
Yeah.
Let's have a look.
Tons of stuff on here.
It is. Now, do normal users worry about SSDs dying on them? I've had one die on me. That's when it first came out. I mean, I was one of the suckers who bought a 120 gigabyte one for $285. In fact, I bought 2 of those suckers when they first came out. And one of those did die on me fairly quickly. But I think they've improved it now. The firmware is so much better on it, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. The trimming, all that stuff. I beat the crap out of mine. I mean, I'm constantly wiping and rewriting, and I probably write, I don't know, a month. I mean, this might not seem like a lot, but it's probably more than most of you guys to one SSD at least 1,000 gigs a month, probably way more than that. And I'll have these things for years. I've not had one die yet.
Yeah, I think that I mean, there's no moving parts. I think it's perfectly fine. Yeah, I say when I bought mine, though, it was before trim. I had to use secure erase to wipe it all clear and make sure you didn't lose any of the functionality.
Yeah, Dave's the Marcus Brownlee of laptop reviews. Man, both their content is gorgeous looking.
Hey, Carlos is here. Hey, Carlos.
Hey, what's going on, buddy?
He's going to go for
Just
dinner
got
with
5
wife.
minutes. Wife screaming.
Yeah.
Dinner or divorce.
Carlos is an expert bass player. He's got his own channel. Everybody go out and watch him play his bass. He's not doing it anymore, but he is very talented.
Any way to overcome throttling on that laptop? The XPS 15 4K 9570? Nah, not really. I mean, unless you disable Turbo Boost and put a fan cooler under it.
Yeah, you're a little bit stuck, aren't you? I don't even know why to put an i9 in there.
I don't know why they put the i7 in there, man. One of the best looking laptops for Windows ever, and they just needed to do a few things. Go back to the drawing board, and that would be my main machine.
Now, what do people think of the new MacBook Pro?
The AMD one? The Vega one?
The Vega one. It was supposed to look quite good, but it's so expensive, isn't it? Is it worth buying?
It's like another $1,000 more than the regular MacBook Pro. Am I saying that right? Is that right?
Yeah, I think so, isn't it? It's like, isn't it like $4,000?
Yeah, that's crazy. I got a buddy. He'll get one.
I mean, are the benefits worth that extra? I mean, it's got a good screen, and yeah, I suppose you can use their software. But Western Gents United did some good reviews, and he said even Final Cut was slower than using Adobe Premiere. So I don't see what the benefit is.
That's weird. If that's the case, forget it.
I mean, I thought that was the only advantage using like Apple software on it.
Yeah, exactly, for the optimization.
Yeah, go figure. I mean, people have asked me to review these things, but I have to buy them. I mean, do Apple send out review units to people? Certainly not to you or I.
Not to us, no.
And I can't afford $4,000.
No.
Out of kidneys, dude. I agree.
My dad has a MacBook Pro for work, and he runs Windows on it. That's funny.
That's funny. I know, it's not for me. So I had a question for people here that, of course, I think we asked this question before, that people like to obviously see laptop coverage. And certainly on my channel, I didn't really want to be a one-trick pony and just do laptops. I thought, well, let's do other tech stuff. And I think Bob had the same idea. But, is there any other hardware that you'd like us to review and take a look at? That would be quite useful, wouldn't it? For me, certainly. If it's SSDs or RAM for laptops. I mean, we're quite limited if we just stick to laptops all the time, isn't it? I was like benchmarks. I mean, do you want to see more benchmarks? Like Jared does a lot of benchmarks.
Flipping through the questions here. Don't mind my silence. Gaming phones.
Gaming phone. I know, right? Actually, my Razer phone, how many views did I get on that? I think I got 1,000 views in the end. But it takes ages, phones. I don't know. We did phones. I'm not going to do any more phones, any more monitors, no more mice.
How about display calibration? I made a video on that with my Spider 5. Yeah.
You did, and you got like 100 views, Bob.
It's fantastic. How about display calibration? Any tools without the Spider? All right, well, I mean, you're gonna have to eyeball it, man, or look at pictures. It could be interesting. I've been uploading the display calibration per panel to my Google Drive and letting you guys download that. I've been doing that for the last couple of laptops now, the last 3 that I've reviewed. So you guys can pull from that and use that for what it's worth. I know that's not a big help for most of you, but give me time, right? In a few years from now, we'll have 30 of these things out. And
I mean, one thing I would like to do, Bob, is measure the response time of panels.
Yeah.
But I don't think there's any easy way of doing that. You need a high-speed camera and all kinds of trickery.
Right. You got 3, 5, 7 milliseconds, TN, IPS. I mean, I don't know. They're all pretty darn good. It is a laptop after all.
It's hard to measure. Some more direct comparisons. Now, I do like that, Lance. But what you need for direct comparisons, you need the laptops, don't you? Bob certainly tends to just have one flowing at a time. Well, I tend to collect them like hats, really. I've got freaking loads of them. But at the end of the day, you do need to sell them to get your money back.
Sure.
Yes, I do like direct comparisons, and I'll certainly continue doing that. Like, I've got the M15. I've got 2 M15s coming in, so I'll compare them, but I'll also compare them against the Zephyrus S, which I've still got, and I want to sell it. I got the Razer 15, which I'll just compare it against that. And that's pretty much it, really, you know. But you do need to sell them at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm. Yes, we do.
Let's compare them against desktops a bit more. But then again, I mean, I can't keep buying or building desktops.
Mm-mm.
Have you guys tried that project, Google Project Stream? No, I haven't. Do you know much about that, Bob?
No, I don't know much about it. I've tried what is that? The one that from NVIDIA? What the heck is that one?
GeForce Now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna do a test of GeForce Now, and that's Shadow, because I've been in touch with Shadow Guy, and he's gonna hook me up for that. So we will be doing that. Actually, I've got high hopes for that.
They can address the latency. I think it'll be the future if they can address the latency, especially for consoles.
Oh, I think it will be. I mean, according to the guy at Shadow, he says that you could use their servers for also video editing, stuff like that. So you can just do other stuff, you know, store your files on there, whatever. Yeah. But
then you can take your 13-inch MacBook Pro and play Overwatch with it. You know.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
People will do that.
And you can also play on mobile devices or whatever, you know, iPad or something. But so any laptops you try to get rid of? Well, not get rid of, but I'm going to be selling that HP Pavilion. I know I've done benchmarked 8 games today on that, and I'm going to do one VR video on it. And then that's going to go for sale. And then I've got the Zephyrus S, that's going to go up for sale, of course. Possibly the Razer, depending on what this M15's like, but we'll see. I spent $3,000 on that. And my Alienware 13, that's going to go up for sale as well.
Oh, man.
I know, right? I've got loads. Is that it? I think that probably covers most of the ones I've got. I'm going to sell a 1080 Ti. I'm going to sell a 4K 32-inch monitor.
The BenQ?
The BenQ, yeah, I'm going to sell that.
That'll be quite the shipping expense, but yeah, that'll be great.
Well, that's it, yeah.
No, he doesn't sell his on MBR like I do. I don't even know if you have enough posts to sell on there.
No, I don't have enough posts. Yeah, I just bang it on eBay. Yeah. You know, I've sold some to some subscribers or viewers or whatever, but you know, a lot of them are overseas, and that makes it more difficult. Although there's a way to ship it to a US destination, and they then handle the shipping overseas. And that works quite well. So that's an option.
Alex, you want the Y530. You're conflicted because the 730 is retailing for $942. Did you see my Y730 review? Watch that, and then you'll know what to do. If it's the same spec model that I had, and that's what you want to go with, go for it. It's a nice laptop. Just not at the $1,200 to $1,500 it's normally going for. Yeah, GTX 1060 card or wait for 2000. Man, when this stream cancels, go back and watch the first 5 minutes of it. We'll tell you that.
Yeah, we talked a lot about that.
Yeah. Which will probably end the stream at 4 o'clock. Steven's got an M15 coming to his house today from Alienware, so if he misses that, I'm gonna cry.
Yeah, no, so FedEx. If they've knocked and I've lost it, that's gonna suck balls. Let's have a look.
Somebody asked earlier, red and black. Aesthetics, that should be out the door soon, yeah. Sorry, go ahead, Steven.
Sorry, I was going to say, I've got a red and a silver one coming in. That's the Predator GID. So it's, I asked here, it's DVD, as he has the DVD driver, and the SATA cable has been removed from the DVD. How did the Omen 17 had a DVD drive in it, does it?
Is it the X, that big honking one with the mechanical keyboard and a 1080?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Well, there's two. There's that one, and then there's the latest one, which looks like an oversized Omen 15. I can't recall if it had a DVD drive in, but can't remember.
Yeah, Lance, you have to contact Steven if you want to buy one of his laptops. Me, I just throw them on Notebook Review.
Yeah. If anybody wants to buy anything I've got, just let me know. No problem. Yeah. So yeah, Lance says red and black's pretty gaudy. I'm like you, Bo, aren't I? I now, I don't know if it's because I'm getting older or what, but I prefer a more subtle look.
Yeah. Yeah, my mech is all solid black, and I got the LED keys all white. This is awesome.
Yeah, and I must admit, even with the RGB keyboards, I mean, I tend to just have it pretty subtle there, really. I don't go after any crazy effects.
Yeah, that was asked earlier. Does RAM have a big impact on crystal disk mark? My SSD readings have been drastically different. I don't know. I would have to have a lot of stuff here to test that.
How about your loading of games, Real Property? Does it slow? Do you notice any difference in loading times? I mean, I take these crystal disk marks with a grain of salt, to be honest.
Oh yeah.
I want just real world applications.
Yep.
I mean, I do plan to try and do a video perhaps on this HP Pavilion's got Optane memory with a 5,400 RPM drive, and it sucks. It's so slow. I mean, the other day it took 10 minutes to boot up.
Yep. Make a pot of coffee and drink a cup.
It was a nightmare, and then when you're trying to close a game down, it's just spinning around. I want to do a test between that and a regular 7,200 RPM spinning drive. I think that's going to be faster.
Man, the 7,200 RPM, well, not as an OS drive, but just using it as a storage drive on that Lenovo Y730.
Yeah.
That wasn't that bad. I don't like platter drives, but it was cool. It wasn't that bad.
Yeah, we used to go by them all the time. We didn't complain, did we?
Yeah.
And to be honest, a lot of laptops come with like purely 128 gigabyte SSD, so you're going to use a platter drive for your games. And I think they should scrap 5,400 RPM drives. Why did they do that? The price difference isn't that much.
No.
I mean,
maybe they're more reliable. I mean, technically.
Is it more power efficient? Do you save much power?
Maybe. It just might be more reliable, but.
Yeah, I'd scrap them. I mean,
I would too. SSDs all the way.
Yeah, I think they're just being cheapskates. And in fact, that gets onto a subject which I was talking to Bob about earlier, that, I think laptops nowadays should have fingerprint readers. There's no excuse. So I just bought an external one. It fits into your USB port, and it's very small, $29. And, you're spending $2,000 on like the Aero 15X or the Razer 15, and that does not have one. They're just cheaping out.
I think just embedding it right into the power button. Like, I think Dell did that with their 7577 I reviewed a long time ago. That was fine.
Yeah, no, they should do that. Now, Alienware said on the M15 they couldn't do that because they wanted the alien head to be the power button.
That's cool.
But they could still have it on the trackpad. I mean, you know what I mean? That's what my Clevo's got, or a lot of the ASUS laptops have it on there. Just penny pinching, really.
Motto, your laptop choices here are a Zephyrus M or an HP Omen 17. I mean, that's pretty different from one another. The 15-inch thin and light or a bigger machine. Why are those two your only choices?
Yeah, I mean, depends if you want the portability. I mean, it's not as if the Zephyrus M is going to have great battery life, is it? But it was a couple of hours, was it 3 hours, something like that?
Mm-hmm.
So I think I'd go for the Omen 17.
See you, Carlos.
Yep. Bye.
He said, see you, Carlos. That's funny. Oh man, Lyle, I don't know, man. I'm kind of out of the whole desktop thing. Steven might be a better candidate for me, but I don't even know if
But
he'll be able to
the
answer
ROG
that. Yeah.
2070 o'clock no more than 6.
Gaming on the go. I mean, is that
Yeah,
HP 17-inch? Oh, do that? Sorry.
I mean, yeah, 60 on the core doesn't sound much, does it? Is that
Nah.
all you're getting?
What are
I mean,
other people getting? What's Reddit saying? What are the forums saying? What are people getting?
Well, I had it open here. Let's have a look. You should be able to get over like 150 or something on the core, I would have thought.
Then again, maybe it's, highly overclocked from the factory. Can you overvolt it?
I don't know. Got a post here. Of course, you've got NVIDIA Scanner now, haven't you? Of course, which does the one-click overclocking. Have you tried that? I've never actually tried that yet.
Nah.
NVIDIA Scanner. I mean, I did it. I'm old school. I'll just do it myself.
Right.
Let's see. I don't know what it's got.
Yeah, you can get a 1 terabyte for 70 now. Jeez, get over on Slick Deals. You can get a terabyte solid state storage for a little over $100. I picked up a 512 gigabyte Intel 2.5-inch drive for $55, brand new.
There you go. So yeah, Lyle says it is overclocked to 140. I thought you should be able to get like 150 on the core, something like that. Should be no reason. 60s. I mean, these factory overclocked ones. I mean, that's another pet peeve of mine. You pay extra for like 60 megahertz factory overclock, which gives you like an extra frame.
Back in the day, I used to recommend that. We're talking, all right, let's go back to 2011, 2012 when Battlefield 3 came out. And there was a lot of bugs within the first 6 months of that game. And one of them for certain periods of time was if you even overclocked your card by, let's say, 2 megahertz, it would lock up your machine. And so people were either buying factory overclocked cards or flashing overclocked BIOS on their cards because for whatever reason, just moving that slider up a notch would lock up the machine. We have less of that now, and which is nice. But just a little bit of history there. That was really the only reason why I would have ever recommended an overclock card from the factory, because most of them just do what they do, like you said, Stephen.
Yeah, and I think this NVIDIA scanner is supposed to be quite good. Of course, they're trying to eliminate any of the guesswork out of it and perhaps any warranty claims. One thing I actually read today, and I don't know what you think of this, Amazon is using, I think, is it PC Part Picker to take the guesswork out of compatibility issues when you're buying components on Amazon. So you'll type it in, and I think you must also put in what your specs are, so it'll select which ones will be compatible. What do you think of that?
I don't know. We'll see if it works.
It's especially early days at the moment, but I think it makes sense, because we get a lot of questions, don't we? Will this RAM work in this model or this and that? Of course, we don't know for sure because we haven't tried it.
Right.
Well, I think we're probably we're going to call it a day in about a couple of minutes or so.
Yeah. Well, I guess. Geez, it is almost 4:00, and I know you gotta wait for that M15.
That FedEx, yeah.
To give me a holler when that comes in.
Yeah. So Shrey does say, set that test, 7,200 RPM versus 500 RPM versus. Yeah, I'm going to do a complete analysis, all of that. I think that makes sense.
SSDs are so cheap now.
Oh, they are. I'm looking forward to testing that external SSD.
Mm-hmm.
That was cheap. That was 512 gigabytes for $90. Wasn't too bad.
Nice.
Okay. Well, I think.
Well, it's not. Hold on. I haven't seen any reviewers of the Aero 15X talk about the complete lack of RAM compatibility. That could be said about any of these things. First of all, you don't mix RAM, especially this 2666 stuff. It's super flaky. If this was the 2400 megahertz RAM from 7th gen, I'd say just get a Crucial Ballistic Sport, throw it in there, and it's almost guaranteed to work. But the 2666 stuff, mixing two different manufacturers, I've not seen a case yet where it worked correctly. And I've got HID would back me up on this. We've had conversations on the forums. They know I'm right. It's really flaky stuff. So it's that V-color stuff, G-Skill, it doesn't matter. Every single laptop manufacturer is using single channel RAM. If you can't match it, then just sell it. And think about this. Somebody will buy it because somebody wants that RAM to put in their solution. So, or just don't buy single channel RAM.
Yeah. And that's one good benefit of people like HID. They sell even 32 gigabyte modules, don't they? So if you want to max it out to 64 gigs, they'll probably usually do it.
Right.
Yeah.
So this Zero 15, man, any laptop you get, it's single channel. If you don't match it, that 2666 stuff, you're going to have blue screens, lockups, all sorts of things. It's going to act weird.
Yeah, I just put my 2400 stuff from my Alienware 13 in mine. It worked fine. I had no issues.
Nice.
Just put that in.
Where to sell it? Get on the forums, man. Make your name known. You could try eBay, do the whole PayPal and all that crap, but I've got a reputation on the forums that I started just mainly to sell stuff.
Yeah. How many posts do you need to do on Notebook Review to do that?
Probably 100.
100 posts. Also should do that. I could sell it on Etsy. I bought my arcade table on Etsy. That seemed to work okay.
Nice.
That's coming on Monday.
So wait. Yours came with Kingston? Are you talking about the Arrow? This is important. If this, I gotta know.
Yes, yeah, it must be because he's got the Arrow 15X.
Okay. For laptops, NBR, Notebook Review Forum. That is hilarious. Okay, so far we have definitely 3 different RAM manufacturers in there. Okay, so I get people frustrated with me all the time. Why don't you tell me what kind of RAM it is, brother? Because you don't know what's in there. We could buy the same laptop 10 times from the same darn place, and you'll have different storage and memory manufacturers in these laptops, just the way it goes. Same with the displays. You'll have 2 or 3 different panels at full HD.
Yeah.
You know, people get so upset.
LG panel while the others were AUO, so
V-color's the most common in the Arrow. You guys are the best. Thanks, buddy.
So, Bob, when's your M15 arriving? It's December the 10th?
Well, it allegedly December 13th, but I have no shipping information. It still says status as confirmed. So
now, are you going to liquid paste yours as well?
Come on now. Yeah.
Good.
Of course.
Completely take it apart. That's nice.
Yeah, it's mine, so I'll do
what you want.
Needs to be done with it. Yeah, absolutely. But that's going to be a handful. There's a lot broken with that machine right now, and if it's not fixed by the time I get it, it's going to be a big review because I have to come up with solutions and answers for all the problems with this, which I am super excited for. So,
yeah. Well, I'm going to test mine with the amp as well. I mean,
nice.
I don't know how many people who have Alienware laptops use the amp, but it's actually a pretty decent piece of kit. It's just huge and the fan's noisy, but it's it's better than a Thunderbolt solution, and I'll test it with that.
What do I think of the Predator G9793 for a gaming laptop? It's bliss. You repaste that, it will respond to thermal paste better than any laptop I've ever seen. It scavenges so much air. I had one. I used to have reviews on it. I removed them. I still have one with the G5793. Great laptop, man. I mean, it's a gaming laptop, and it does a good job. It's quiet. It's a great machine.
Is that the one you had at your house when I came over?
Yeah. That was the G5, and that was my buddy's. But yeah, I had a G9 version of that too, which is just the GTX 1070.
Okay, yeah, that's nice. I'd like to come over your way again, Bob, and we'll do another joint video next in the Cincinnati area.
Yeah, absolutely, man. You know you're welcome here. Like Jerry Rig everything for a laptop. He's a good dude. I like that guy. Us bald guys got to unite, man. Would you repaste the Arrow 15? I can't, and neither could Steven. These were review units, and we were specifically requested not to. And that's very fair, okay? Because if they send those out to other people and we put some kick-ass paste on there, that's going to skew the results. So that's not fair. And I made clear mention of that on my review as well. So
yeah, I mean, and also to be fair, people like HID, they don't even want you to update the drivers. They've got it finely tuned out of the factory.
Yep.
You know, you can open the back up and show what's inside. That's it.
Can't take off the cooler or anything like that. Now, if you guys are wondering, well, Bob, the Mech G2 was a review unit. You were able to take that one apart. Yes, I was. That laptop was, supposedly already dismantled from a forum user, and I was receiving that laptop. And it turned out that it was actually never repasted before, so that was weird. But this was a conversation I had with somebody over at Electronics, and he gave me permission to tear it down. So that's that.
Yeah, you know, that's testament to Electronics too, allowing you to do that, I think. Yeah. These big guys, Dell and everybody else, no way, it's not going to happen.
Yeah, don't take apart the machine. I can't blame them though, man. If I put Cryonaut on there and drop the temp 5 or 10 degrees Celsius, and then, you know, Bill Smith gets the chance to review that unit that I had, and it's running better. I mean, that sort of compromises the integrity of other channels, and it just skews everything all weird like. So it's understandable.
Now, Sean's asking about refurbs from Acer. Yeah, you probably could buy them from their website. I don't know what refurbs normally have. What, like a 90-day warranty period, don't they?
Yeah.
And I bought refurbs from Newegg, and I didn't realize this until I wanted to return it. They won't let you return a refurb to Newegg. They will only exchange it. So
man, Newegg used to be great many years ago.
Yeah, nowadays you can't do that. So it's a shame. But yeah, I think refurbs, you get some good deals, and I've bought plenty of them at my time. I mean, I've even bought refurbs on eBay. Generally all right.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, this Alienware 13 I've got as a refurb. I think from Dell, I think you still get the 1-year warranty on them.
Yeah,
too,
it probably looked brand new too.
Oh, it's pristine.
Yeah.
Perfect. And I'm sure it still came with a 1-year warranty. So I think refurbs from Dell definitely makes sense.
I mean, all it takes is that one time. Doesn't matter if it's new or refurb. I mean, you guys are only going to buy a couple of gaming laptops in your life, right? So if you get burned once, you're going to ride the hate train on them. I get it, right? This isn't anything against anyone. This is just how we work. And you're not going to recommend them. I mean, that's just how it goes. So hopefully you get a good one, and most people do, but you don't hear about the happy stories. You hear about the people that are pissed off. So, I mean, buy it. It should be fine. If it's not, I'm sorry. I mean, you'd be 1 in a million, but yeah.
Yeah, so Sean was saying, yeah, Acer have their own site, which I think looks like Acer recertified.
I see them on eBay, like you said, Steven. That's a good source.
So save up to 40% off Predator models.
Razor
Maybe worth
hate
checking
train.
out. Yeah, you get some good deals here, couldn't you?
Zane's on. Are you on the Razor hate train, Zane? Yeah. I know too much about Razor, man. I don't. They got a lot to prove. I'm waiting to see if Stevens holds up for the next 2 years, and then I'll see what happens.
Shall I do a drop test on it?
Don't. It's a gorgeous machine.
I know, right? But yeah, this Acer has some good deals by the looks of it. 27-inch monitor. Oh, that's only 1080p though for $399.
It's too big.
Yeah. All right.
You know what? We can answer that real quick. What do you guys think about the gaming industry nowadays? Laptop versus PCs, the future going to gaming laptops, or I mean, gaming laptop is affordable. It's nice right now, so you get a lot in here.
It is. I think. I mean, okay, it used to be about the upgradability, wasn't it? Really, the main benefit for desktops, and I suppose that's still the case. But laptops are just as powerful these days, aren't they? Now, and I mean, my Clevo laptop, it's basically a desktop. I can replace the keyboard. Which I have done. I can replace the GPU. It's used as a desktop CPU in it. So you get those huge chassis like mine where that is a desktop. But of course, the rest of the crowd, I think the lifespan on them is still pretty good. I mean, the parts should last a long time now, shouldn't they? It's like cars. I mean, like you buy in the old days when I was a kid, a car used to be like a rust bucket, not last long. Nowadays, cars are great, don't fail. Laptops are much the same, I think, nowadays. They've improved them a lot. I mean, still going to get lemons, and you got like the Thunderbolt ports to expand them that way if you want to do an external GPU type of thing.
Just look, every Black Friday, right? Get a super sweet deal, and then use that laptop for a year, sell it on Craigslist for maybe half or more what you paid for it. Keep it in good shape. Don't pick your nose and eat Cheetos while using your laptop. Make it look nice. Sell it and move on to the next one. It's fun.
Yeah. Hey, hardware junkies like you and I mean, we don't keep a laptop for long enough, do we?
No, but this is how I was before YouTube too, man. I kind of wanted to play the field a little bit, so just buy cheap and try to get the most out of it when you sell it. Take care of it. What do I think of the GL504? I'm going to get a 704, and I am hoping I like it. So we'll see.
The 504 was good. I reviewed that. The Hero Edition too. It held its clock speed, about 3,900.
It ran strong.
Continuously, yeah. No, I mean, that was probably the best one I've done.
Oh, man. $2,000 for the 32 gigabyte Max Q 1080 Triton 700. That's a very unique laptop, and if it's mint, that's a sweet buy. That's what I'm doing with desktops. Build, then sell. Nice. Well, should we split, man? I know you've got an M15 knocking at your door, so...
I think we should call it a day. Yeah, I'd hate to miss that guy. Yeah, and I'm going to try and unbox it tonight, and I'll compare it against everything else, and then I'll get everything loaded on it, and I'll do some live streaming of testing.
Okay.
People can see the thermals. And I mean, this is a liquid-pasted one, so if this one's hot, then the other one might as well go in the bin.
Nice.
So I'm sure HID will do a good job on this one.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, well, thanks for your time, Bob, and everybody else.
Yeah.
Adios.
Catch you guys later. Any feedback on the stream, sound, the way it looked, the discussions, definitely leave that in the comments below. So I definitely, especially the constructive criticism. So if we can make some changes, I will.
Yeah. One thing I would like to see, I know you put a post, or we put a post announcing it. It'd be good to have some comments in there saying, topics you'd like us to discuss so we could prepare them ahead of time. I think that'd be nice.
Got it. At the end, it ends up coming out to be a bunch of questions, though, But yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah. Bit of planning. All right. Bye.
See you guys.